Hi, and welcome to another episode of Being Surreal. And in this episode, we are going to talk about regrets. Okay, so before we actually begin, I would like to tell you a story. Of course, it's about me, and no, I'm not too self-obsessed, but this story is about me. So, when I was in third or fourth grade, I used to like dream about becoming my school's head boy because damn, does that badge look cool on your chest? Also, the answer is yes. So I wanted to be my school's head boy and wanted to be a council member. So when I was in 12th, I decided to take part in my school election. Yeah, we had election. I hope you had too, but like if you didn't, I'll just tell you in brief about it. So like what we used to do, ninth to 12th grade students used to vote, and before the like voting actually begins, you have to give a test and then pass an interview, and then you would be like you could give votes, like it was something like that. So whoever had the most votes won. And it's a like kind of conspiracy theory, but I think it was true that just a vote didn't make you a council member, because you had to be uh, a good student according to teachers, of course. So only then you could have made it to the council member. And to be honest, I think I was pretty good. Like I was never into fights and all, but um, but we'll talk about the result later. Okay, so I decided to take part in my election, but there's a little bit of catch. We had to give a speech too. Like we weren't allowed to have a rally or something, but we had to give a speech in front of the whole school. So the thing is, I have a stage fright. Like, in normal life, I am pretty confident. I can go and strike up conversation with anyone, literally anyone on, like, be it a road or something. I can just go and have talk with them. So, but but I had a stage fright, and the thing with stage fright is speaking on stage is too damn scary. And like I can still remember like how it felt when I gave some speech in my 11th or 12th class. Like I could feel my tongue getting dry and everyone just looking at me. Like public speaking is something I would like to learn. I would really like to learn it, but right now I have a bit of stage fright. Mm, so I was reluctant to apply for the council member because I knew I had to give a speech, and because of stage fright, I thought I would not give it. But then I was like, I don't want any regrets, so I went ahead and filed the like like I filed the forms, like not exactly filed the forms, more like gave my name for the for the elections. But yeah, so I actually took part in it, in the election. um by the way, if you are curious, I I didn't become the head boy, but I was not particularly sad that I didn't become, because at least I tried. I would have regretted it if I didn't even try, because in that case I would have thought, what if I had tried and I had become the head boy. And that's why I want to talk about regrets. Like regrets are a shitty thing. Like I have learned this. I I I wish I learned it earlier, but I learned it very late in life. Not very late, but yeah, I still think it is because there are certain things which I wish I did earlier or said or but I didn't, and I now kinda regret them. Okay, so now let's move on to some serious stuff. Okay, so the regrets I just told you about were like normal regrets. They were not really big, like big in the sense ki don't really overthink about them. But there are some regrets which you would definitely overthink about. Like it may be, mm, it can be, let's just say, you not confessing your love to someone. Like, this is one of the most common regrets I know. Like there are times when people are like, oh, that girl or boy was into me, and I should have confessed my feeling about, mm, like I should have confessed my feeling to him or her, and maybe we would be together. And that's actually a really common regret. You can like just see these kinds of story from everyone. You can like ask, you can just go and ask any random person, and he too would have a story like this, that I used to like this girl in my school, but I could not really confess to her. And when I was in college, I came to know that she was into me when I was in school. And then that guy will start regretting on how he didn't confess his feelings. And now the things are totally different way. Um, at this point, I would really like to bring in the butterfly effect. So, butterfly effect says that butterfly effect essentially states that a flap of wing of a butterfly can bring a tornado. And so I would elaborate it more. So basically what it means is that all things are connected. All of the things and events that happen are connected to each other. They are a chain reaction. Like there's no such thing such as a random event. Like just take any, like if you look at any event, it might appear random to you at first sight, but if you like look closely, you can see that it's actually not random, because one of your decision in past made the things go the way it is. For example, mm, let's say you are listening to my podcast. You may be, one of the reason you can be listening to my podcast is because you met me in school, if you are my friend in real life, or maybe somewhere online if you are my online friend, or maybe just through a friend. So you your interaction in past with me made you listen to the podcast now. So that is what butterfly effect essentially means, and everything is connected. So if if that guy confessed his feeling for her at that time, his life would be totally different, but he didn't. So his life is completely different right now. Well, not completely, but you get what I'm saying, right? And this is a pretty common thing. I notice this a lot. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, answer it honestly. Like, keep your hand on your heart and then answer it. I want you to, just don't lie to yourself. Okay, so when was the last time You told your parents that you loved them. Answered it. Like when was it? Yesterday, a month, maybe years. And this is one of those regrets. Like personally, I have never been that kind of child who told my parents how much I love them. Like when as a child, it is actually really easy. Like you can just go and tell them, but as we start to grow older, we get more and more alienated from them. Like we stop telling them about our feelings. Like, this is mostly because we think about what would they say and how they would react. Like mm, we start living in a world of our own. The world where we live, they don't play a major role. That is kind of sad. And and even worse is, they sometimes even play antagonist in our world. Like a lot of children, uh, like not per se hate, but they don't like their parents. And like, we usually get so irritated, and that too really easily. Like they could just say a simple thing, and we just get really irritated. And it's obviously kind of sad. Like I still remember, I did a Q&A on, like I asked people. It was online, okay. So I asked people about when was the last time they told their parents love them. um, and most of them said they didn't. And and honestly, I wasn't even shocked, because I wasn't even shocked. I knew this was going to be answered, because like of course you can see a lot of posts about people regretting not telling their parents. You can see people not telling their parents about the feelings they have. Like those kinds of posts in which like the post protagonist parent dies, and then he's like, oh, I loved you so much, I wish tell I told you sooner. Like that kind of stuff, the kind of regret I don't want to have. So just after this podcast is finished, I would go and tell them. Like I really feel this way, that like I usually read this online, that like like I have read these things, that like someone saying, like, you don't tell people, you show them that you love them, like that kind of thing. You don't need to tell you love someone, you need to show them. And I mostly agree to it, but there's a little bit of me that disagrees. I think that you should sometimes tell people whom, like you should tell people whom you love, like not like telling daily mostly, but occasionally you should. Like for example, let's see how um let's say you get into a relationship, and see how easy it is to confess it to your partner. Like once you are in relationship, like almost every time you end your talk, you are like, love you too. um I know most people do that. Almost everyone does that. That's basic human nature. But the same isn't true with the parents. So I think you should tell people who you love. Like, of course you love them, but sometimes actions are not enough. There are things you should, like, you should hear. Just like appreciation should be heard too. Like, being the feeling of being appreciated feels really nice. Everyone wants to be appreciated. So you should really tell people whom you love, like, go to your friends and tell them how much you mean to them, and uh, tell your parents. Like, I this is actually a personal habit which I kind of like doing. That I don't really always tell people how I feel towards them. Like, people as in friends, but like when it's their birthday or something, i I sometimes do write a paragraph and, like, let them know how I feel about them. Because and to be honest, that is a really good gift, especially if you are broke. But that is a really good gift. And jokes apart, uh, jokes apart, that's a really good gift. And um, like, people actually love reading how, like, how people feel about them. And I think you should, like, at least try it once. And if you do, like, send me, tell me how it was. I would really love to hear it. And so, and about confessing the person you like as in relationship, um, what's the worst thing that could happen? I believe that you should always confess your feelings. You should go and tell them how you feel. The worst thing that could happen is they can say no. Like, what other thing can happen? So you should tell them, what if they actually like you? So if they like you too and you confess, you can, you know, get into a relationship. So I think you should go and confess a feeling. If you like a girl or boy, just go and tell them how you feel about them. Maybe you get lucky. And a pro tip, um, people actually love confident people. So if you are confident enough to confess your feeling for her or him, they might be into you. Okay, so in the end, I would just like to say that I want you to tell people around you how much they mean to you. Like, it can be a text, it can be a paragraph, or you can just call them or tell them face to face. I would love to know how it goes. Okay, so that was it for today, and I would really love to know how the confessing thing went for you. So, you can just tweet me or ping me at my ID in the description. Um, just tell me about it. I would really love to know about it. Okay, so see you in next episode. Bye.